Hey guys, hope you're ready for another adventure in Pathfinder Kingmaker. So we are now the Baron of this fine city. Put down some buildings. They're not done building yet, but I want to see if I can see them. Maybe talk to my party members. Hopefully they have something new to say. It looks like they do not have anything new to say. That's disappointing. I'd hope the characters would be more than like an exposition dump. Knights of the Old Republic still did characters in your party the best, I think. There were skill checks and continuous, like, progressing down, like how much you could figure out about them, all sorts of things.
Our path leads on.
Hello, my
Hello.
savior. You asked if we'd meet again, and here I am.
A savory aroma of herbs and flowers is the first thing that lets you know that your longtime acquaintance is here. The nymph looks at you in a strange way, like she's never looked at you before.
I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power?
Sure.
I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. A shadow under its green crown I call my Verdant Chambers. Visit me there, my lord, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you.
I'll just tell her I was happy to help.
So long. I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter's snow.
Wonder if we can get a little hanky-panky with that nymph. Sorry, taxes. You know the deal.
Without a doubt.
I feel a little bad stealing that guy's dinner. Didn't expect to find anything that quality here. A young dwarf, red-haired, neat and surprisingly clean-shaven, stands leaning against a sledgehammer. Don't think I've ever even heard of a clean-shaven dwarf. He's busy reading some book, but as you approach, he looks up and bows slightly. Greetings, Your Grace. I'm Bertle, a blacksmith. What can I do to help you? Tell me about yourself. It's there to tell, Your Grace. I'm a blacksmith. My father was a blacksmith, my grandfather was a blacksmith, and his grandfather too. Besides, every one of them were remarkably fertile, so I have plenty of cousins, second cousins, third cousins, and all of them are blacksmiths too. Pretty much all the weapons in Meven were forged by someone from our family. That's why I moved away from my old home grounds. My skills are more useful here, that's for sure. You look weird for a dwarf. Riddle sighs and runs his fingers through his hair. You expect to see a beard, eh? No offense, but what's the point of a beard? Especially when you're a blacksmith and working with fire. You burn it once, dip it into lighting oil, and catch a spark from the forge, and your beard is history. You're better without one. So what are you reading? Riddle looks a little confused. Well, different things. It's nice to take a rest with a good book. Just now it's Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures of the Splendid Willis Gunderson and Absalom. Alright, now you can show me your goods. Oh, yeah, we could do some cold iron. Oh shit, that's expensive as hell. Adamantine full plate. Just a smooth 18,000 gold. Alright, well, that'll all have to wait. You get quite a lot of random things a merchant would pay well for. It's nice to get rid of all this weight, though. I like to make sure it just says, a merchant would pay well for it. So it's not like an antiquities collector would pay well for it. Better save it for that antiquities collector. I'm a little surprised I never got to do anything with that wine that was supposed to be delivered to the Stag Lord. I wish I knew how to cook food, though. Okay, so we made a bigger haul off that than we thought. We can afford something made out of cold iron. The man bows to you, spreading his arms a little. Yusuf from Absalom is happy to welcome you, Your Grace. Come, take a look at the best wares we traveling merchants have to offer. Please, come take a look. What's the secret of your success, Yusuf? There's no secret. Perseverance, strength of character, attention to detail, the gift of persuasion, charm. All this, among many other things, are key to success in my profession. If I didn't have a secret, who would I be to share it with anyone? The merchant laughs merrily, his hands rubbing his sides. Why did you leave Absalom, the center of global trade, for some young barony in the Stolen Lands? That's a long story. I don't think Your Grace would be interested. Come, come. The merchant groans theatrically. Very well, as you wish, Your Grace. It was about a woman. When I was still young, I fell in love with the daughter of a judge, an important person in Absalom. For many years I tried to win her heart, but she was as cold as stone. I would have given up, but this is not my character. In the end, I did manage to win her love, but I was unready for it. Yusuf swallows and rubs the back of his head. As Avadar is my witness, the flames of hell burn inside this woman. I could not live with her for even 6 months. Tenderness and passion one day, screaming and scandal the next. Sometimes she would break into my office during business meetings to make a jealous scene, and sometimes pulled me by my collar from the finest taverns in town. I couldn't sleep. I was nervous all the time, and it started to affect my business. I realized there was nothing else to do but run. Leaving her and remaining in the city would be impossible, even in such a city as Absalom. I decided never to return, and I still fear that wildcat of a woman will follow my trail. Yusuf stops talking and stares into space without blinking, although sometimes, after a couple of jars of wine, I still remember her. Perhaps it was I who unleashed this tornado in her. If somehow I'd behaved differently. Well, tell me about yourself. My pleasure, Your Grace. The merchant smooths his mustache and commences his story with an air of importance, speaking in a sonorous voice, gesturing wildly. Yusuf's family was not rich, and he, as many in Absalom, had to start from the very bottom. As a child, while his peers chased pigeons and stole apples in the market, he worked at a tannery. Oh, I can still smell this disgusting stench. The man pulls out a heavily perfumed handkerchief and waves it in the air. Well, the young apprentice worked hard, saved every coin, and soon managed to purchase that tannery from his former master. Then, as soon as he had enough money, he opened his own trading agency. After 10 years, countless deals, and many hours in his caravan, Yusuf was one of the most successful merchants in Absalom, thus writing his name indelibly in the history of the great city. The merchant looks at you with pleasure. Well, how was that? I'm looking for a writer so I can dictate my memoirs. I think many would find it interesting and useful to learn more about me. Well, I know one. Lindsay. Hey, Lindsay, where are you? That's a cool tower shield. Stratagem, the rapier. Agile, enhancement +2. Ooh, you're nice. It allows its wielder to add their dexterity bonus to damage rolls instead of strength, whichever is higher. Flaming Bastard Sword +1, Veil +2, Corrosive Heavy Flail +1. Ring of Luck, that's cool. Ring of Protection +2 is also cool. Ring of Plentiful Hunts. +1 bonus on damage rolls with bows and a +2 luck bonus on nature checks. +2 to strengthen dex for your animal. Ooh. Gloves of Dueling are like best in slot for fighters. I should grab those soon. +5 confidence bonus on trickery. Oh, this would help you unlock things as well. He's got lots of goodies. Ooh. That's really good too. Increasing the power of that group heal from my cleric. Necklace that makes you sucker punch beasts. Cloak that helps you stealth. Build points. Should probably have one crowbar just in case. I don't know if it'll ever be used, but it seems like the sort of thing that would get used. Man, it's easy to blow through gold on magic items. Alright. So the weapon merchant got all my items. And the items merchant gets all of my gold. Oh shit, I doubled up. These are both headbands. Ah, god damn it. I don't know who to give the wisdom bonus to anymore. Okay, we haven't done anything with you really, but here, have some wisdom. Invisible scythe, the deadliest weapon. Let's go ahead and slap in those level ups. Your weapon counts as a bastard sword, right? Yeah, it's still a bastard sword. Yeah, taking her arcane spell failure chance to 0 should be good. Slapping the main character with rage and heroism should be pretty strong. Old person's really good too, though. So is blindness. But still. Haha. We can finally leverage Arcane Trickster. So with that item we gave us that increased our check by 5, we can basically negate the penalty for doing things at a range. And then we can get through traps without any risk. I have no idea what these Thessalonian specialists are, but they sound cool. Okay, so we're only getting 6 points, and that's +6, so it looks like our magic bonus to int is not giving us skill points. Thought she had all these already. Yeah, that seems fine. Still don't really know enough about Inquisitors to really give her what would be best. But she just got the Bane move, so I'll give her extra Bane for now. Alright. She finally doesn't have to deal with that pesky attack penalty. Seize the moment and outflank together. Look like they might be really good. I could move her into one of the more interesting weapons, like kukri or something. But there's probably going to be really solid magic longswords that we just pick up along the way. But if I do want to use her as a feat user, Kukri would be really good for that. Actually, Missile Shield would be great. I'll have to make sure that I'm actually making him use his arcane pool. I just need a basic dodge for now. Actually, power would be good. Yeah, Magus with mirror image and blur on himself. It's pretty difficult to hit. That lets him get up in the front lines. Okay, let's save after all that. Could talk to Tristan, but now that I know everyone's dialogue is just an exposition dump, I'm a little less inclined to figure what he's about, really. Hello, citizen. Well, that does seem to be my chosen of Serene. Oh, sorry, that was a mere jest. Other acolytes at my temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you how pious and devoted I was compared to them. And yet, my faith is strong. Serene knows this and protects me in times of great peril. If something ever threatens my life, by her divine powers I'm transported to a safe location.
We march ahead.
Oh yeah, let's head to the Capital Tavern.
Forwards.
Must be weird to be a player in a video game. I mean, a character and be like, this fish is takeable, but none of this other fish is. Wasn't highlighted in yellow.
Without a doubt.
Behind the inn's bar stands a young woman with curly red hair, a round face, and rosy cheeks. She gives you a friendly smile, fixing her cap. It's so nice of you to stop by, Your Grace. I'm Melina, the innkeeper. Huh. Did these rations get cheaper? I feel like they were more than 5 gold last time. So I've got 3. Make sure I have at least enough for one nap. The beer mug in. Scratching the bottom of the barrel for that name. Ho ho! Whoa, 12,500 now?
I will guide
The
us.
8,000 from before was plenty expensive. That's rough. That's the first thing I've encountered that was locked. The fact that it was in Jathel's room is mighty suspicious. She's like, yeah, that's just where I'm hiding the body for now. I'll move it to a better
Our
location
path
later.
leads on. Without a doubt.
It's okay. I'm fine with people locking their own hotel room. Now, if I were playing a rogue, I'd probably invite myself in. You know what? Even though vampires are good at being rogues, like racial statistic-wise, it must suck to be a vampire rogue. Especially if you've got that weakness about having to be invited inside. It's like, what's the point of being able to pick the lock or turn into mist if you still can't get in?
Forwards.
Okay, so it looks like I don't get to see any of the buildings I placed down. Wait, you know what? I need to check something. That's a morale bonus. That's a morale bonus. Rage was worthless. Oh wait. This is to attack rolls, and this is to strength and constitution. So no, they do still stack despite both being morale bonuses. The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled and his white beard falls to his waist. The man seems to be completely blind. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth slightly to its rhythm. The man shudders briefly and stops singing. His mouth opens and closes a few times, bringing to mind a fish brought ashore. Ah, who is there? Is that you, Your Grace? Who are you? I'm an elf from Kyonin. My name is not important. I'm the storyteller, collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. The man smiles, but doesn't seem to be directed towards you. Long ago, as a smith in Kyonin, the fire of the forge has burned out my eyes, but I am grateful for it. If I could see, I would yet forge suits of armor for Yadra's guards. Instead, I have stepped on the path of an adventurer and gatherer of ancient legends. The old man ponders silently for a moment. Many peoples are long dead, their homes crumbled to dust, their bodies turned to ash. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and fears. I would be interested to hear the stories told about us after our demise. I've always been drawn to the stolen lands where countless expeditions, armies, and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of these lands, I knew I wanted to be part of its story, so I made the journey here. Are you really an elf? A common question. Despite my unusual looks, I am an elf, and an old one, yes. Perhaps older than any other elf of Kyonin. However, I doubt my age alone is responsible for my appearance. I keep the stories of many people and races, some forever gone from the face of Galarion, but they live on in my memory and my heart. When I accept a new story, I lock it within myself, bearing the weight of its words and the emotions they invoke. I sometimes think that I probably should have died long ago, but some incomprehensible force is keeping me alive and granting me the ability to continue my quest to gather stories. Be it divine power or fell curse, I am grateful either way. How could you tell it was me? The old man smiles slightly. It's not so hard to recognize a ruler by the way he walks. No one in here steps as confidently as you, Your Grace. Alright, would you like to trade stories? The man's voice rustles like autumn leaves. I'm a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it, whether willingly or not. Can I be certain you will keep the stories intact in their absolute purity? The storyteller ponders for several moments. No, I do not think so. At least, not yet. These legends are the most precious valuables of this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are beacons illuminating the way to the past, allowing us to meet generations long gone. I cannot let their light fade. The path to the past must not be lost. The old man thinks for a moment, then continues. But I can offer you a deal, Your Grace. If you find some items belonging to past eras, bring them to me. If I recognize the stories hidden in those items, I will gladly share them with you. And if you find all the pieces of any ancient artifacts, I can even recall my smithing skills to unite them and restore their power. Nice. I've been looking for him. Okay, let's see what he restores when I give him some items. This scorched piece of metal is part of a curious artifact known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it, I sense a story of many deeds. Not heroic, but low and maleficent. If you find all of its fragments, I will be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. The storyteller finishes his inspection. Remember me, should you find anything noteworthy. I've brought some other relics. A coin from a non-existent country. When Coral the Conqueror mastered Rostlin, having claimed it for Brevoy, he prohibited the issuance and use of such coins. Both ordinary folk and the Aldori sword lords were required to use new coins, decorated with Coral's profile, but no one was quick to be rid of these prohibited coins. Oh no, in many houses they still store boxes and whole chests of such coins, waiting for the day when Rosslyn declares its independence. Got 2,600 gold. The storyteller fingers caresses the symbol shaped like a tree leaf. And what is this? I hear the voices of trees, smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I'd be happy to purchase it from you. And another 2,400 for that. The token of the dryads. The storyteller idly toys with the ancient plain-looking coin. What was the name of the Cholerian ruler who issued this coin? Does anyone remember now? What did the Cyclops use it to purchase? Food? Books? Weapons? Perhaps someone's life or their freedom? Who can say? Its history was erased by the Earthfall, but I will buy it from you for significantly more than it was worth in its own time. The storyteller weighs the soldier's tag in his palm. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to the others to decide whether the cause was just. This tag belonged to one of the many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Taldan Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you. That first sentence was pretty deep. A soldier does not ask where the banners of his war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide whether the cause was just. Man, it's kind of a dismal way to look at soldiers, but also, I don't know, it's evocative. The belongings of brave heroes who performed their feats before you. I sent you would be interested to hear their story, but there are too few of them here for me to recount it yet. Please find the rest. I am sure you won't regret the time you spend in the search. There are these... Okay, so that's all the goods I can give him for now. I could use more advisors. The storyteller's voice grows soft. Thank you for your words. I am unlikely to be able to interpret the intricacies of the political world or the affairs of the treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of the arts would be useful to any ruler. I need to find someone to manage my treasury.
Without a doubt.
It's an important position. Just this morning I received news from Brevoy. My illustrious mother, may the gods prolong her years, is terribly upset by the disappearance of yours truly. His smile twisted into a sneer. She's dispatched search parties to the neighboring provinces, discreetly, of course. She fears whatever scandals might arise due to my absence. Lander sighs. Well, it's not the first time she's gone to such lengths. You came of age 2 years ago. Why, Livda? Are you still heir to the throne and not sitting upon it yourself? A throne is a curious thing. It owns you more than you own it. My mother bent over backwards to draw me into possession of my father's legacy, but I would like Lander to really see and do something in this world before he becomes Lord Lebeda. What do you value most in people? Decisiveness. Lander answers immediately, then adds, well, sensible decisiveness. I've no taste for those who sit and mumble all day when the time to act has come, nor for those who rush in without consideration or planning. You will return home eventually, won't you? Of course. Can't let a throne sit empty after all, especially not one so wealthy. Lander's eyes gleam. I will return, someday, but for today, my house can wait. I need to discuss politics with you. Always glad to provide counsel. What can you tell me of the River Kingdoms? Have you ever seen a jar full of spiders? It's much the same, only on a greater scale. A plethora of small nations and city-states that form spontaneously and dissipate just as rapidly. Nevertheless, there are those that could potentially pose a serious threat or become a promising ally. Vitax makes a fine example here. No, Vitax isn't my first choice. How do you like being regent? It gives me great satisfaction, Your Grace. The very thought of how much I influenced the barony. But you must be asking after my responsibilities? All matters are well in hand, and by no means do they hamper my other affairs.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
Are you enjoying your duties as High
Everything is
Priest?
all well, Your Grace. I just keep forgetting what a mess it is in the stolen lands, and how troubled are the minds of its people. Sometimes I must listen to such nonsense from my visitors. Erastil, forgive them.
Yeah, like sometimes I have
How
to
may I
listen to
serve you, Your
people.
Grace?
If I were to offer you a public
I believe
position,
I can
what would
manage
you
to
like?
uphold the law. Being a warden would suit me well.
This is a nice room.
I will guide us.
I wonder how long it'll be till I can invite someone of the more feminine persuasion to my room as well. Okay. Okay. Let's deal with that curse. Ah, Jesus. Plague spiders. Regular spiders are bad enough. Bald Hill. Okay, trolls in the forest. With reason and tactics. With kobolds.
Trolls who didn't fear fire? That sounded terrible, and dangerous, and terribly dangerous. If we couldn't rein them in, our young barony would be eaten up in a snap.
Why would you ever want to skip camp banter? That's one of the best parts. Or at least one of the best parts of camping. I'm liking the music. It's a pretty basic tavern fare, but I'm just in the mood for it. It's a vault hilltop is right in front of us. So the trolls are at the Gnarl Marshes. Not sure exactly where that is, but I'm on the job. Ah, here we go. Somewhere in this area? That's the southern Gnarl Marches. North Gnarl Marches. Okay, well. Time to deal with curse plague spiders. Which sounds awful.
I'm not afraid. Consider me provoked.
Yes, lovely giant spiders that appear from portals.
The weak suffer. I
Serves you right.
Okay, so Tidog is held. They're both fighting a Doom Spider, but maybe we should be interrupting this spell.
I don't free.
could be worse. And will be. Definitely will be.
This won't kill me.
Lost.
So down two. This guy with a, I guess, infinite CC spells is kind of a problem. We'll focus her next time.
Grotus, hide me from their sight. I'll cut you! Repent!
There we go.
These magics should be used in other ways. We shall overcome!
How's she reducing it?
Serves you right.
She should be doing way more than 12 damage on most things. Wait. 30's a good hit. Alright, see ya.
Soa, Taya. Riti ala, Soa, Taya. Could be worse. And will be. Definitely will be. So, Taya.
Finally. Okay.
Tear them apart!
Get a little rage. A little heroism. Never mind. No need for heroism.
Yes.
That's done. But we just took extra channel. We gave him the headband of extra channel. Like, ability power. He rolls an extra dice for the healing. That elfie thing looks to have just turned into like a bloody corpse. It's a little creepy. I got a ring of protection and a wyvern silk cloak. Ooh, +2 enhancement bonus to natural armor. That's real good.
Forwards.
I do need to get our Magus more AC somehow. I mean, magical can't be hit is good, but it's hard to just like totally poo-poo regular AC. So, what do I do?
Without a doubt.
How do I get to the places and do the things?
I will guide us.
Seems like I should be able to go this way, but it's clearly not a
Our
map
path
exit.
leads on.
I can't highlight anything. I don't feel like I did enough there, but looks like I did. Don't know what's gonna be going on here, but
Forwards.
it was shiny. It was on my map. Figured I'd check it out.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Ferocious wolf. I'll cleave. I still wish I could set him to auto cleave. It's like just cleave all the things. Attack plus 12.
What's that?
Quite solid.
Time for fun? I'll cut you! Repent! Your life ebbs low.
More travelers? So, the gnome invites some of his friends. Stupid, slow, sluggish gnome. Oh, Tartuk. Gnome! Stupid. There's a purple kobold on the riverbank who looks just like your old acquaintance, Tartusio. Kobolds want this cart. Kobold shall have it. The horse skull hides most of the kobold's face, but you see his vicious eyes glinting through the empty socket staring at you. By orders of myself, the glorious King Tartuk. The kobold pounds his chest with his fist. Tartuk, King! The head of the gnome expedition wipes his brow and glares at the kobold. This bastard was the one talking our ears off while the rest of them were trying to steal our cart. King Tartuk. The gnome looks at you and winks. What do you say about a bit of regicide? Tartusio, I recognize you. What is this new disguise, and why are you not dead? How dare you speak like that to the king? Kobolds, attack! Sure does, whatever that is. It's probably a magic word.
Stand with me.
Move. Yeah, they're fast. You should probably mirror image, just in case. A little blouse wouldn't hurt. Some feel-good music wouldn't go amiss.
The weak suffer. I
Gungar was down, but that's okay.
You deserve it.
Damn it, of course. Couldn't be as easy as just beating him again. Gotta beat him more than once. The crowbar that we bought might come in handy. While the gnomes were busy fighting the kobolds, furiously cursing and diligently punching their unwelcome guest right in their dragonish snouts, the cart was all but forgotten. The unwitting cause of the fight, it was being dragged away by the scared ponies when it slid down the ford, sinking all the way up to the coachman's seat in the river. This was where the Skunk River flows into the Tuskwater, and the current becomes excessively spiteful, cold, stubborn, and turbulent. Having taken hold of the gnome's cart, the Skunk River must have decided to drag it down amid all the commotion, but it was caught in the act. The surviving gnomes, led by the head of the gnome expedition, an extremely loud and crabby fellow, but not without some managerial talent, were able to catch the cart before it floated away. Faces red and grunting from the strain, they struggled to keep it from drowning entirely. Just then, a package fell into the water. With a heartbreaking splash, it vanished beneath the current, only to resurface 10 meters down the river. "No!" the head of the gnome expedition moaned as he glowered at the package. "That was Alchemy and Life, the latest issue." After plunging into the cold water, the ponies immediately lost their nerve, swiveling their ears and twitching. They tried to chew through the reins and throw off the load. "Why are you just standing around? Go on, help them." The head of the gnome expedition was visibly dissatisfied as he shouted. Okay. Let's go ahead and use our crowbar. Set under the wheel, the crowbar wedged into position against the stones on the riverbed, making the process of pulling the cart out of the river easier. Let's go ahead and tie a rope as well. Alright. I think then we start pulling it. Ready? Ah, my foot. The head of the gnome expedition yelled, his face red and angry. With help like this, my positions would be down the river in a flash. Just go to the camp, or find those runaway ponies, or find some other way to help. Gods. Oh, it fell on its side. Looks like that all went terribly. So, let's save there, then reload and autosave. See if we can do that better.
I'm not afraid.
Tear them apart!
We shall overcome!
that.
Stand with me.
Consider me provoked.
These magics should be used.
Yada yada.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
What do entrails look like? Repent!
Mir took a generous number of kobold arrows to the face and just kept on kicking.
What? Kill me!
That's why a D12 hit dice is pretty nice. Very cool. She succeeded at both. Alright. We just needed the strength of some horses with us. The cart creaked and cracked, sounding as though it were sobbing. The board straining against the combined stress of the rushing water's pull, against everyone trying to push the cart ashore. Unfortunately for the cart, both sides were of equal strength. Something had to be done, or the poor cart would be torn to pieces. Oh, I think I can manage to just push it. And that's what you get for being a badass. After everyone struggled together for a while, the cart finally made it out of the muddy riverbed and rolled back onto the rocky ground of the waiting ford, prompting some seemingly indignant sloshes and squelches as the river released a trophy and rushed along in search of easier prey. Losing no time, the gnome expedition jumped inside, for a good while rattling and swearing were all that could be heard from the cart, until the gnome's face finally appeared from under the rooftop, seemingly satisfied. "Almost everything's still in place," he announced, cheerfully, jumping from the cart. "It's all wet and crumpled, but at least nothing's missing. Thank you, travelers. Not for your help, guided by my keen supervision, of course. I'd have had to say goodbye to all of my possessions." Alright. Come here, my valiant savior. Yeah, 1 second. Got a whole lot of kobolds to loot. I mean, they're barely worth looting, but gold's gold. How come I never find any magic short swords? Well, like cracked swords that used to be swords. But now that they're cracked, they're short. And we can continue the tradition of all crossbows are masterwork for reasons. Okay, now we can save over Cargo Splash. The gnome that stands before you wears dirty and ragged clothes. They used to look stylish and wealthy long ago, but those times are long gone. His black hair is matted, a deep fresh scratch crosses his cheek. Despite of this rather pathetic look, the gnome behaves with inner dignity and even manages to maintain a superior manner.
Jubilus Nartropple, at your grace's service. Your help with these kobolds and my almost drowned cart was timely indeed. By the way, it's a shame no one organized a greeting party when such a famous and popular person as myself arrived to your capital. I wasn't expecting a red carpet covered with rose petals, but you could at least have sent ahead some delegation. Oh, at least some of my servants are still alive. Do you know how much it costs to train a proper servant?
He jabbers too fast, never stopping even to take a breath. You can see he's piled up some emotion and just needs to get them out of his system.
Sounds like your servants are nothing but tools to you. Truly, with masters like that, being a servant is not much of an improvement over being a slave.
What's this then? Huh. Run along, little girl, the grown-ups are talking.
So, you're not only arrogant, but a boorish swine as well. Why am I not surprised at all?
Also, while I'm on that, I'd like to make an official announcement. The roads in your barony are in terrible condition. People must search for wading fords to cross the rivers because no one had bothered themselves with building bridges, and honest travelers have to take the risk of being attacked by kobolds at any moment. So, how did you say your barony was called? Ah, whatever, never mind. When I draw the map of these lands, I will call them Maybe Local Baron Will Help. I guess it's a fitting name.
The gnome falls silent at last. He just watches you with his shifty eyes opening and closing his mouth as if he wants to say something more, but hasn't come up with anything yet. How do you know I'm
I've
a baron?
already told you I visited your capital some time ago. Weren't you listening to me? And I'm used to being greeted by officials when I arrive to settlements of at least some importance. The glory of myself and my exploits usually precedes me, and officials usually prefer to be on good terms with me. Yes, you're right. I should have remembered that your lands are in the middle of nowhere, and you don't get updates on important things in time.
So how did your
My
cart
party and I
end up
set
in
up
the river?
camp at the bank of this river. We'd just finished kindling the fire when that purple bastard appeared. You know what he told me? He introduced himself as the King of the Kobolds and told me he needed our clothes because he wanted to dress his subjects properly, you see, as long as they've established the kingdom of their own. That's literally what he said. I wonder, where did he learn the words? Obviously, I told him to buzz off. Some kobold wants to strut around wearing the clothes of the great cartographer Jubilus Nartropple. No way. So I've been explaining my position to him, being rather eloquent too, suggesting he and his so-called kingdom might as well fall into the deepest sinkhole. In the meantime, I've noticed that kobolds have already started to untie my cart. Well, I called my men to keep the cart safe. They couldn't guess what to do on their own, just stood there with their mouths ajar. Then things heated up as the fighting started, and while we were fighting, the ponies dragged the cart to the river. Ah, stupid animal.
So what are you famous for?
That was either a stupid and offensive joke or a case of total ignorance. The latter, I hope. I'm famous as a traveler, a cartographer, an alchemist, and a journalist. The students of all the major universities study the world using my maps. My articles for different journals are well known everywhere, from Andorran to Brevoy. You've definitely read some issues of National Alchemy, haven't you? Culinary Almanac of the Inner Sea? Or the most scandalous one, The Independence, describing benefits and drawbacks of governments and regimes in different states? Didn't read any of these? Oh, well, don't answer that. I don't want to spoil my impression of your barony. It's spoiled enough already. It would be hard for me to write at least something positive otherwise.
Wait, the Jubilos Narthropple? Author of the 14.5 eulogies to Pitax? Oh my, every student in the Academy of Grand Arts devoured your books, especially after King Aravetti banned them, tried you in absentia, and sentenced you to death.
I see at least someone in this shabby barony has at least a rudimentary education, even if they got them in such a dubious establishment as the Pitax Academy of Grand Arts.
I was expelled for irreverence.
Ah, is this so? Well, if it is true, then you just might not be beyond hope. I pursued 2 objectives. The first is to write an article on this new barony of yours for the Independents. The second is to draw a detailed map of the stolen lands. Before this barony appeared, it had been too dangerous to come here, but now an opportunity has appeared. Thanks to you, I must add. So, as you can see, the freedom of speech sometimes grants positive comments too. Anyway, I'm almost done with this journey. My article is practically ready, so is the map. All that's left to do now is to find an old dwarven outpost established here several centuries ago. Your ignorance is stunning. You create a barony, and still you know nothing about the lands you own. I'll have to enlighten you on the subject. You see, long ago there was a dwarven trade route crossing these lands. It connected 5 Kings Mountains and the north. The route was so important to the dwarves that they were generous enough to set a number of outposts along it, manned with armed guardians to provide protection for the traders. One of these outposts must be somewhere nearby, lost and completely forsaken, but nothing can avoid the watchful eye of the great cartographer Jubilos Narthropple. I will find this outpost, and I will mark its location on the map. You can trust me on that.
Is it abandoned? It's possible it's now used by trolls as a lair, for instance.
Why not? Dwarves like being underground, trolls like being underground too. It's quite possible after dwarves left, their warm and cozy place fell into the hands of less attractive creatures.
Let's join our efforts.
Well, you proved to be a capable companion in a case of emergency. I guess I can entrust you with covering my back. Let's go. I will send someone for my cart later.
Right away. Okay. It looks like this gnome is slightly weaker than my mage, or than Olivia was. And now we're at medium encumbrance. Yes, rogues can use sneak attack for additional damage. That is the whole purpose.
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Trolls. to save those acid bombs for finishing off the trolls.
Tear them apart!
I'm writing you out of our story.
Branded troll? Not sure what they mean by that. An elderly half-elf stands before you. His sun-bleached hair reveals him as a seasoned traveler, and the confidence with which he holds his bow reveals him to be a seasoned warrior. In his cart full of various items, it seems a trader as well. Damn trolls, almost died from the stink alone. The half-elf wipes the sweat from his brow. They almost had me. It's wonder troll's not afraid of fire. Good thing I had a few flasks of acid among my goods. Thank you for your timely rescue, friends. Despite his confident gaze, his voice trembles slightly. A few moments more and I would have... Frowns. Whoever rules this land gives little care to its safety. Formerly safe trade roads are given over to trolls, and not a guard to be seen. But where are my manners? I am Dalton from Mivon, a merchant by trade. Who are you? I'm Baron of these lands. Your words are fair. I'll do what I can to make the roads safer. Oh, beg your forgiveness, your grace. But these trolls, they're a threat to everyone. Ah, what does he think we're doing here? Having a tea party? They've attacked several villages, destroyed several bridges, and are scaring away trade caravans. Worse than bandits by far. One sec. Headset got tangled up. If your grace is willing to resolve the matter, I know a mage living nearby. I visit him from time to time to sell him reagents for his spells. He's an expert on trolls. You might know why they've suddenly become bolder and fireproof. Hey, wait. Where do you think you're going? We saved you, didn't we? So we deserve a reward. Get out your coin purse. Appreciate your help, but would you please stop robbing people while I'm trying to talk to them? You scared, merchant? I'm just kidding. Pay no attention to me. You'd better listen to what our chief here says. I can see you're an experienced trader. Would you consider operating exclusively in my barony? Aye, Dalton frowns. Don't get me wrong, your grace, but I have family in Brevoy, so my road always must take me there, no matter how dangerous the journey. The roads are unsafe. I would suggest you go no further than the capital and wait until the roads can be garrisoned properly. There's still plenty of trade to be had elsewhere in the region. Yay. Dalton frowns. If things are that bad, well then perhaps I shall conduct my business here for a time. Very well. Tell me more about this mage. Bartholomew is his name. He's not bad for a human, always so polite, so respectful, but there's something odd about him. He lives alone in the middle of woods, his house surrounded by traps with a single safe road leading to it. No bandits nor trolls scare him. And the way he looks at you, it's like he's examining you. Like he's considering to crack you open to see what's inside. The chills. Any other dangers? Trolls aren't enough, huh? Dalton laughed, then frowns. Actually, I heard a disturbing rumor. It said a hodag has made a lair in a cave south of here. Whether true or not, traders are taking no chances. taking forest routes instead. Let me mark the cave on your map. I have no idea what a hodag is. Amari grins. I never fought a hodag. Yet. Well, we'll go there just to satisfy Amari. Oh, you're from Miven? What's their view here? Long ago, Miven was founded by the Sword Lords who refused to bow before their new ruler and fled Brevoy. While while not Brevins anymore, our people and the people here have a lot in common. As I've heard, the barony here was founded by people from Restov. We look upon them as distant cousins, I suppose. Dalton smiles. Welcome cousins, that is, not family you'd rather forget. Alright, safe travels. Hey, you gave me some potions and some gold coins. Hold a moment, I didn't have a chance to reward you for your help. Fortunes are best shared, after all. Safe travels. Aw, good guy.
Forwards.
Alright, that appears to be all. Time to hit the road.
Oh, sorry. Was lost in thought.
Magricchio, Turinos.
Yeah, good enough. Yeah, I'm glad they're flanked if two or more characters are attacking them at the same time, and we don't have to have, like, special positioning. If that were the case, it'd be like, alright, give me the grids or the octagons or something.
Forwards.
Alright.
Without a doubt.
So someone's yelling help, help in the text box here. And looks like there's some traps about.
I see something.
Sweet. I think we're supposed to stick to the road here on this one. Oh, even more bandits.
the hard way.
Ends you.
Just ooh, 2 crits in a row. Jesus. Good job, man. Ending lives.
Lindsay the Magnificent? Lindsay the Illustrious? Something more simple, like Lindsay the Great? Maybe Lindsay the Indecisive.
Lindsay the Indecisive.
Time for fun.
Serves you right.
We shall overcome.
I'll cut
Gotta
you.
love that cleave. My sweet Leskin, I just received a letter from you and rushed immediately to answer. I want you to get word from me as soon as you arrive in New Steven. With all these endless travails of yours, I've become an expert on roads and settlements myself. Little Ketri asks about his father's whereabouts every night instead of a bedtime story. Then I get a map and show him, here's our Galt, and these are the stolen lands. There's Brevoy, and this is the road our father is riding on right now. Then we wish you good night and go to sleep. Everything is all right here. The workers you've hired eventually finished painting the walls and fixing the roof. Now sitting at the top of our house is that marvelous forged weathercock you brought from Numeria. It's perching up there and watching around. What's there behind the horizon? Maybe the master is on his way home? Ron the Baldhead returned recently. You'd somehow missed each other in Miven. He told a bunch of tall stories about his adventures, as he usually does. Told us there's a hodag living in the woods in the southern stolen lands. I almost fainted on the spot. That's the forest you pass by every time. Maybe Ron just lies. Gods know he usually does, but I beg you to take care and choose the other road to skip coming near that damned forest. I'm writing this now and can't keep my tears from running. I'm just not myself without you. The only joy I have is watching little Ketri. His face and yours are as like... His face and yours are as like two peas. He even frowns just like you. You always bring me some presents, dresses or shoes. Now this turquoise brooch you promised last time. But I need none of that. The only thing I need is you by my side, safe and sound. Take care of yourself. Be back soon. Your beloved, Alika and Ketri. I bet this letter actually got him killed, since he took a different road. That's a little sad. Ah, there's that turquoise brooch of his. Proceed with caution. Traps ahead.
Would you look at that?
Indeed. Traps are ahead.
Anything is
We've
possible.
lost our main trapper getter ritter.
Applause, please.
So he'll have to do. Ah. Can I see? Party changed and things got out of order again.
My search was not.
What troubles you?
That one stung just a bit.
Anything else?
Hello, sir. A middle-aged man stands before you. His clothes are not too gaudy, but tasteful. Despite living in the wilderness, he looks well-groomed, even dapper. His mustache is slick, and the nails on agile, soft hands are meticulously polished. What a pleasant surprise! Welcome, Your Grace. Would you like a cup of tea? Something stronger, perhaps? It's a great honor for a humble hermit. Entertaining such an important personage. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Bartholomew Delgado, at your service. How may I be of assistance? Do you know anything about those trolls? Never heard anything like it. If this is true, I'll have to revise my defenses. He goes silent and closes his eyes. Your Grace, I'm afraid we must intermit that conversation for now. A moment ago, a troll was caught in one of my fire traps, and it was unharmed. I suggest that a chance to explore its corpse would better equip me to answer your questions. My liege, I humbly request your protection. Please, follow me. Go ahead.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Just one troll?
I don't like surprises.
Attack!
At least they're still vulnerable to steel and acid. Now let's look into why this creature lost its respect for fire. Bartholomew recites an incantation and waves his hand over the troll's chest, then points at a specific spot on it, where there, branded on the flesh, is the symbol of a blacksmith's hammer encircled by thorn-studded vines. Whatever that is, that's the reason its flesh didn't burn. Hrim inspects the brand closely. Alas, I recognize this cursed symbol. This is the hammer of Toreg, a god neglectful of even his most devoted followers. I don't know why his hammer is decorated with thorns, but it suits the treacherous god well. The wizard slowly makes an incision around the brand, then peels the flesh off, excising the brand completely. I must study this. Here's the key to my laboratory. Wait for me there. I'll join you soon enough. Without another word, Bartholomew whispers an incantation and vanishes.
My skills are getting rusty.
Actually,
You require my assistance?
he's slightly better at disarming traps.
We need to try something else.
Well, despite being slightly better, not quite good enough.
I will guide us.
I like that loot is marked on the map.
I'm positive I
Our
found
path leads
something.
on.
Yes.
Makes life a lot easier.
This is not the way it works. You can thank me now. Child's play.
Grotus awaits us. Patience.
Just letting the ink dry.
Esme, Axe, yes. Esme, Axe, yes.
My search was not in vain.
So, any brilliant ideas? This is not the way it works.
Strike as one!
Don't normally think of traps of summoned monster, but I suppose there's no reason. It doesn't make sense. Any spell can be a trap.
The weak suffer. I endure.
They seem to be either particularly strong or particularly lucky giant
Without a
spiders.
doubt.
Yes, I'm still here.
What's that thing?
'twas not in vain.
My skills are getting rusty.
Wait,
I
hold
wrote
on.
it like I saw it.
Wait, have I been using the wrong song this whole time? Yeah, I've been using confidence.
Yes?
Weak
Not my
suffer.
lucky day.
I endure.
You can thank me
I
now.
die. Free.
What's new?
Adventures call to them.
Okay, let's check out the new goodies. Bracers of archery. I want to save those for Olivia. New cloak of resistance. I'm really hoping we don't get attacked in here. I'm seeing these blood splatters. I'm just gonna save just in case. Borbor. A hoarse croak comes from behind the bars. Borbor. The troll sitting in the cage is so thin you can see his ribs through the skin. Although you see no scars, his pelt is matted with dried blood and his eyes are dull and unfocused. Various knives, saws, and bloody manacles scattered about leave little doubt as to what this troll has suffered. Borbor. Kill me. Enough. It hurts. He's probably been bleeding it for his blood, using the regenerative properties of troll blood. Bartholomew rushes into the laboratory, waving the sample of branded troll skin. It was simpler than I thought. This is just a simple spell of fire protection. Any competent wizard could cast it. The unusual element was the way the spell was applied. This wasn't cast by any human hand, though. Oh no, the brand was stamped on with some artifact, which would make it possible to make trolls fire-resistant in massive numbers. This is grave news for us all. My fire traps are useless now, and making acid traps will take time and resources. More importantly, for trolls to organize in such a way, there must be some greater intelligence operating behind the scenes. And if that's the case, the list of potential targets for a force that formidable is a short one. He pauses, then he rummages through his lab. I promised you a reward, so please, accept these acid wands. I'm afraid you may need them soon. Explain to me why this troll is in your cage. His eyes light up. Oh yes, this is the greatest project of my career. I'm exploring the regenerative abilities of trolls in the hopes of passing them on to humans. Can you imagine the possibilities? Pain, senility, mutilations, even death itself, defeated. Oh, you weren't concerned I acquired the trolls illicitly, were you? Don't worry, I purchased it legally. I'm not some poacher out rummaging the Baron's woods. Pretty sure you could capture trolls legally. I mean, they're not, like, protected or anything. I'm just going to say that I find it distasteful. I'm pleased our minor ideological differences are respected. We might prove extremely useful to each other.
Forwards.
Cut off the guy's whole hand. I feel bad for the troll, but I mean, could be worth it. You could help a lot of people. Oh, Starry. This is the title page of a diary covered with crudely sketched symbols. There are numerous smears, worn spots, cuts, and burns on it. Bartholomew obviously isn't a tidy type. The leather cover is spotted with acid burns. Page edges are tattered. There are 4 symbols carved on. The first one is B. The 3 others stand separately. I and I. If B stands for the name Bartholomew, what does this I and I mean? Interesting. The Great Experiment, Day 104. I've burned all the previous notes, too embarrassed to remember what a complete fool I was. But now that I've got the creature, I call it Dimwit, everything is going to be alright. Studying the troll's ability to regenerate will lead me to my ultimate goal. Got a reason to celebrate. While determining Dimwit's pain threshold, I found out it practically has no such thing. Wounds, broken bones, amputations, and the rest of the perils of a warrior's or mage's life. For a troll, these are no threat at all. The trick is to avoid getting carried away while working with fire or acid, so that impact spots will heal in several days. Amazing. Too bad I didn't dare buy it at the very beginning of my way. Staying in bed for the 2nd day after the incident serves me right. I got a trifle too excited, came a bit too close to Dimwit. The beast bit my arm. Then it starts shouting something like, Borba, Borba. I wonder what that means, if anything at all. The wounded hand is still sore. It even hurts to write this. I hate pain so much. Here I am, lying in bed and thinking about how different we are. My unique intellect against its unbearable animalistic stupidity. At the same time, its regeneration and some chthonic ability to endure tortures and heal wounds against my human fragility and intolerance of pain. It's okay, I'll find a way to get what I need. I got overzealous. Regeneration of 3 simultaneously amputated limbs proved to be an extremely slow process. All the resources of the troll's strength are barely enough for it to go on. And I probably shouldn't have used fire. In the wild environment and without my elixirs, the creature would be long dead. I will continue my experiments in 3 days or so. I feel I'm close now. A few more efforts and I will really become invulnerable and invincible. Oh. Sounds like he's taking things a little too far.
Without a doubt.
As, you know, mages are wont to do. Have anything for sale? A good ring of protection. It's quite expensive though. That'd be good. Additional wands of acid arrow. Oh, and a new pack of holding. Sold. There should be a way to sort to junk things that are just meant to be sold. Ah, there is. Sweet. I figured there should have been. Okay. So what are you doing in these woods? I'm simply a humble researcher in the field of esoteric sciences, and I've chosen this location to work in peace away from the noise of the city. When the environment is quiet and the air is fresh, ink just begs to be set to paper. Those traps in the wood, are they yours? They're mine, yes. You see, while I'm happy to welcome guests, I prefer those who are capable of coherent speech. I've neither interest in nor desire to waste my time with fighting off every monster that comes across my dwelling, but I did leave a safe passage for those who can read. I even installed a sign. You must have seen it. So what if someone can't read? Literacy is one of humanity's most significant achievements. Trust me, my traps aren't even close to the worst dangers threatening anyone who chooses to remain in the darkness of ignorance. Though I suppose if I ever met a painter here, I could ask them to add a picture to my warning sign. What about the local bandits? They tried once. Now they make every effort to stay away. They only show up if they don't have any other options, and even then just to politely ask me to enchant their arrows. Question about the traps. Never mind.
Search was not in
Wait,
vain.
somebody save me. Okay.
You require my assistance?
So
We need to try something else.
need to keep looking around a little bit more.
You can thank me now.
Forwards.
We'll do it the hard way.
Looks like we didn't get to save whoever that was.
I'm getting killed here.
Could be worse.
So if we could just deal traps, not
Weak suffer.
whatever's happening here.
Forgive me for this failure.
But now that we know that that dude dies anyway, we can have a nice little camp.
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Oh, move.
Serves you right.
Dire Venom Wolf? Sounds unpleasant. Got 1 dex for coming back from the dead.
You know, Lindsay, your writing aspirations are quite commendable, but the way you're going about it, without a proper academic education, you'll never rise above writing cheap tales for peasants.
I've seen this academic education of yours. A pack of arrogant peacocks trying to outshine each other with their highbrow talk. Hell no. I'd rather write my tales than become a smug toad like those professors.
Cool. Got a healthy meal.
Well, sorry.
Got our spellcast back. Okay. Now we can take on bandits.
Forwards.
What's that?
My skills are getting rusty. I need to try something else.
Grotus awaits us.
That's what healing magic is for.
Just letting the ink dry.
Esmond, Axel. Yes, yes.
Okay. Part of me wants to save, but let's save after we do that properly.
Stand with me.
It's like a troll statue.
My search was not in vain.
You deserved it.
This won't survive. I always survive.
These magics should be used in other ways. We shall overcome. I shall not falter.
Protect me, please. Miserable.
Okay, still alive. Well, was still alive.
Could be worse. And will be. Definitely will be.
Okay. Could have been worse. It was pretty bad, but could have been worse.
Without a doubt.
Any fun to be had?
So, any brilliant ideas? You can thank me now. I'll try.
The end draws near.
I wrote it like I saw it.
Esme, Axe, yes. Esme, Axe.
I really should have given Treat Affliction a different appearance. Looks almost exactly like Cure Light Wounds.
I will guide us.
I see something.
Quiet, I'm thinking. Child's play!
About halfway through this level. That's going pretty quick. But then we're taking on pretty nasty things.
Our path leads on.
I have to claim it for 15 BP. That's cool. Hey, okay, so that's probably where we're headed. So we'll need to make like a crescent. Oh, abandoned camp, you say? It's okay, you can stop. Alright guys, I think here's a good spot to end it. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I'll see you later.